Sunderland AFC, Squad 2025-26 season. Sunderland AFC, from England. Competing in the Premier League. They play at Stadium of Light. The total market value of the team is €290 million. The manager is Régis Lebris. Anthony Patterson, English goalkeeper. 25 years old, valued at €14 million. Blondie Nene Nikeu, Cameroonian goalkeeper. 24 years old, valued at €100,000. Simon Moore, English goalkeeper. 35 years old, valued at €100,000. Robin Roefs, Dutch goalkeeper. 22 years old, valued at €4 million. Timothy Pembele, French defender. 23 years old, valued at €3 million. Dennis Serkin, English defender. 23 years old, valued at €8 million. Dan Ballard, Northern Irish defender. 26 years old, valued at €8 million. Lutshale Geertruida, Dutch defender. 25 years old, valued at €20 million. Luke Oneen, English defender. 30 years old, valued at €1 million. Omar Alderete, Paraguayan defender. 28 years old, valued at €8 million. Reinildo Mandava, Mozambican defender. 31 years old, valued at €5 million. Nordi Mukil, French defender. 27 years old, valued at €10 million. Arthur Masuaku, Congolese defender. 31 years old, valued at €3 million. Try Hume, Northern Irish defender. 23 years old, valued at €12 million. Leo Held, Norwegian defender. 22 years old, valued at €2 million. Zach Johnson, English defender. 20 years old, valued at €1 million. Argie Elise, English defender. 24 years old, valued at €1 million. Joe Anderson, English defender. 24 years old, valued at €0.1 million. Jay Matete, English midfielder. 24 years old, valued at €0.4 million. Abdullah Bar, French midfielder. 22 years old, valued at €2 million. Dan Neil, English midfielder. 23 years old, valued at €7 million. Chris Rigg, English midfielder. 18 years old, valued at €20 million. Habib Diarra, Senegalese midfielder. 21 years old, valued at €20 million. Noah Siddiqui, Congolese midfielder. 20 years old, valued at €12 million. Enzo Lefebvre, French midfielder. 25 years old, valued at €18 million. Granit Xhaka, Swiss midfielder. 33 years old, valued at €12 million. Harrison Jones, English midfielder. 20 years old, valued at €200,000. Chemsdine Talbi, Moroccan forward. 20 years old, valued at €8 million. Brian Brobby, Dutch forward. 23 years old, valued at €22 million. Eliezer Mayenda, Spanish forward. 20 years old, valued at €12 million. Romain Mundle, English forward. 22 years old, valued at €6 million. Wilson Isidore, French forward. 25 years old, valued at €12 million. Simon Adingra, Ivorian forward. 23 years old, valued at €28 million. Bertrand Traoré, Burkinabe forward. 30 years old, valued at €8 million. Ahmed Abdullahi, Nigerian forward. 21 years old, valued at €1 million. Ian Poveda, Colombian forward. 25 years old, valued at €1 million. Thanks for watching. Follow Football World Euphoria for more football content.